Special education provides assistance to students with exceptional needs. Students must meet specific qualifications in order to be eligible for special education services. Services may be provided in district, like assistance via an instructional assistant or a speech and language therapist, or it may need to be provided outside of the district through a specialized program. The cost of these additional services may be in the thousands of dollars or the hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the student's needs. There are costs associated with both in-district and out-of-district programs, and it varies widely, based on the needs of the child and where the services are delivered. The cost of special education services is substantial and growing. There are multiple state and federal funding sources for special education services. For right now, though, let's focus in on one called Circuit Breaker. In Massachusetts, Circuit Breaker is the name of the program for receiving partial state reimbursement for special education costs. Think about the circuit breakers in your home. They are there to prevent damage in case of a large or unexpected power surge. In the case of special education, circuit breaker reimbursement is available to help cover the costs of large and sometimes unexpected special education services, so that the overall financial health of the district isn't damaged. It is calculated for each student and then totaled to get the full district reimbursement. Ready for some math? Let's look at student A with a total cost to educate of $40,000. First, we check to see if the student qualifies for circuit breaker reimbursement. There is a minimum, which is 4 times the average cost to educate a student in Massachusetts, currently about $45,000. Since student A's needs cost less than the minimum, student A's district does not receive any circuit breaker assistance with the cost of educating him or her. Now let's look at student B, with a total cost to educate of $100,000. That cost is more than the minimum, so circuit breaker reimbursement applies. Next, subtract the minimum from the total cost to educate, totaling $55,000. The legislature funds circuit breaker, and if it funds it at 75%, for example, the district is reimbursed by the state for 75% of the remaining cost. With circuit breaker covering $41,000 of the total $100,000 cost to educate, the district's responsibility for student B is $59,000. Circuit breaker reimbursements are made retroactively. This means that the school district absorbs the costs for 1 year in anticipation of receiving aid the following year. Circuit breaker funding is always subject to change, so reimbursement may or may not match what was expected, leaving districts with a significant amount of financial uncertainty. Federal law, under the IDEA Act, states that children with disabilities are entitled to a free and appropriate public education. Unfortunately, these mandates are largely underfunded by federal and state sources. Every child's needs are different, but providing appropriate services for children and paying for them is a major struggle for every school district. This video is part of a series called Education Funding Explained, created by Support Massachusetts Regional Schools. If you'd like more detail on this topic, visit our website or follow us on Twitter.